You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Good morning. It's Friday, August 21st. We've got a great show for you here today. We have a series, Conexión Latina, great show that's here on TV8. It is celebrating its first birthday. So the host, Julio Garcia, will be on today to talk about the evolution of that program and what to expect here in the future. We've also got Tegan Davis from the Eagle Valley Library District going to join us in the studio here, talk about all the program changes now that those kiddos are back to school. Also look at that beautiful local weather we've been having. A lot of precipitation out there, making those mountains nice and green, getting ready for that four-letter word snow. Yep. Just right around the corner. So we'll take a look at that and see what's happening to get the last few days in before we see those beautiful leaves change and Mother Nature's fireworks take place. All of that happening right here, right now, because Good Morning Vail starts this second.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Well, as I pointed out, we are going to take a look at that local weather. Look at this, 57 degrees as we get up today. We've got a little bit of thunderstorm action, had a little bit of precipitation last night, kind of moved through the valley, but again, making everything around nice and green, getting ready for those fall colors to take place probably in a couple weeks. We'll see what happens there. High today, 67 degrees, 70% chance of precipitation with those afternoon thunderstorms kind of coming through the valley as they have for the last couple weeks. But again, just enough to get things wet, get things green, and then clear up for a beautiful day. Light winds, southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour. So some beautiful weather as we look at Vail by the hour. Those warmer temperatures starting around that noon hour and peaking about that 3 to 4 o'clock time when possibly some more thunderstorms might roll through the valley. The I-70 corridor looks kind of the same as we go through. Thunderstorms throughout, 83 degrees in Denver, 67 in Vail, 68 in Avon, and then 72 in Eagle. So just a little bit warmer over there in Eagle, but still getting some precipitation as we're seeing through the valley. Tonight, low of 53 degrees, percentage 40% chance of rain coming in again. And again, those light winds, southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour to keep everything nice and green. The 5-day is very, very exciting too. We've got a lot of precipitation coming through. And again, getting some more rain in the valley is not a bad thing. Keeping that fire danger low so we can all go out and camp and have a good time outside. But Saturday, 71 degrees, some afternoon thunderstorms there, 72 on Sunday, kind of the same thing there. And then some scattered storms on Monday, 68 degrees there. Going to brighten up a little bit on Tuesday. Again, a slight chance of precipitation at 30%. Wednesday kind of sees some clouds coming in. And again, those nice moderate temperatures, 75 degrees, and those lows keep those windows open for some wonderful, wonderful sleeping. Those 40 degree to 50 degree nights are wonderful. So that's your 5-day forecast. Very exciting news there in the weather. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces.
Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Hi there. Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Well, obviously it's election time, a lot of things being talked about, but there's been also a lot of legislation being talked about for small businesses. Julio had a chance to sit down with a small business council member from Business of America Future to discuss the latest. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, if you are a small business owner in our community, you're going to want to pay close attention to our next guest, who's here to talk to us a little bit about the work he's been doing to support small businesses, to help create policy changes that will ultimately help small businesses thrive. Joining us this morning, we have owner of Kokoro Restaurant in Denver and council member of Small Business for America's Future, Mas Torito. Mas, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the air.
Yeah, a very important topic when it comes to small businesses and helping small businesses thrive. I know there's a lot of small businesses in our community, in our state, nationwide, and we kind of started seeing that surge kind of post-pandemic or you know, kind of this boom. Mas, what do you think contributed to that surge, or why have we, you know, all of a sudden started seeing so many small businesses?
Yeah, I think a big part of the reason why is that in COVID, we found out the resiliency of small businesses and small business owners. We knew that the relationship with our employees was number one, and that how we worked together was really going to be how we succeeded. And as we came out of the pandemic, that just held true. And we just worked together with our employees to try to do things as best we can.
Exactly. And I love that you mentioned the resiliency piece, because, you know, I can't imagine that, you know, all of the struggles coming out of a pandemic, trying to recover economically, and just, you know, all of the things that come with owning a small business. So I do think resiliency is the word, you know, for small business owners. It's definitely a very resilient community, and I think we've seen that, you know, post pandemic. Nonetheless, there are still a lot of struggles. There are still a lot of work to be done. I mean, you know, as you know firsthand. So let's talk a little bit about that and kind of some of the struggles that you still continue to see as a business owner yourself, or just kind of in the small business owner community in general.
Sure. I think we saw coming out of the pandemic that it was two big issues.
Yeah.
One was finding employees
Okay.
that were able to work, not necessarily wanting to work, but able to work, and dealing with the inflation costs that were surrounding us. every which way you looked at. You couldn't even get CO2 delivered for carbonating your beverages without extra fees and
Right.
charges being added on because it's just so hard to operate coming out of the pandemic. So really, those are the two biggest issues that we face as businesses, and there's a lot of layers as to why those issues exist. But we're trying to do what we can to support small businesses with those issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned inflation. Obviously, that's been a huge topic recently these past few years, and that's obviously impacted a lot of businesses. Talk to me a little bit about that, and specifically the Inflation Reduction Act. How has that impacted your business, or again, just small businesses in general?
Yeah, it was one of those things that, again, coming out of the pandemic, is you just found every ingredient that you could be looking for increasing in price
Yeah,
in ways that were just really hard to see fathomable. We couldn't get new terminals to handle the switch to drive-through. That's one example of like, oh, well, you want to grow your business, but the price of goods is so high.
yeah,
Getting things out of the country was so hard that it was hard to just grow your business. And then it's just the basic stuff. Our number one ramen dish, of course, comes with a boiled egg, but the price of eggs was, like the mountains there in Vail, where it's just the
yeah.
price going up and down, but mostly trajectorying up on high a high level, and it just became harder and harder to do simple acts of business, just
Yeah.
like providing an egg in a ramen bowl.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think a lot of things skyrocketed due to inflation, and I know the impacts that has on small business. My family owns a small business, so I kind of know firsthand what some of those struggles are. Now, Maz, you recently attended the White House Business Leader Summit on July 25th last week. These past couple of days you were there. Tell me a little bit about what was discussed, what came out of it, or what do you think is going to come out of that moving forward?
Yeah, we met with the SBA Administrator Isabel Guzman, and we also met with the Deputy Secretary of the Treasury,
Okay.
Wally Adiemo, and a number of other of the high up administrative people in the White House. And while it's an honor to get some time with them, it really was a two-way conversation, and that's really what the challenge is for our businesses. Is we need to be made aware of more some of the resources that the government provides for us.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the government needs to learn about some of the issues that small businesses face firsthand. There's always that expression that politicians many times won't know the price of milk. And this is our chance to tell them exactly what the price of milk is and how that's affecting our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Make those voices heard, right? Make the small business community voice heard. I know that's a lot of the work that you all try to do at Small Business for America's Future. You are also a small business owner, so you kind of know what some of these issues are, and you kind of know what you all need to feel supported, to feel like you can thrive. Are there any specific policies or policy changes, Moss, or any specific support that you would like to see from policymakers moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's something that you see in Vail, you see in Denver, you see across the country, which is the price of childcare just being so incredibly high.
Yes.
In the restaurants, we hire a lot of women as waitresses and cooks, and one big shift that's come out of the pandemic is just how many women have left the workforce to take care of the children. One, because finding childcare is so hard, or if you can be lucky enough to find it, it's just so astronomically expensive that
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to return to the workforce. So for our businesses to grow, we need to be able to hire quality employees, and childcare is one of those examples of something that we're really looking to have the government understand the concerns,
Yeah.
and for us as employers to also know some of the things that the government's doing to try to help with those issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Child care is definitely one of those issues that, as you mentioned, we see here in our area as well. I also know, Maz, that healthcare is another big thing for business owners, and being able to provide that to their employees. I know this is important to you. How do you manage it, or what kind of changes would you like to see there?
Sure. Well, we've always tried to manage it, and we've
Yeah.
seen it as beyond something as far as a government concern or mandate. We've been offering insurance since we opened in 1986
Wow.
when my parents first started our business. We see it as a fundamental right and
Yes.
something that you have for all your employees. That being said, the cost also has increased astronomically over the years, and you find yourself having to make really, really hard decisions about deductibles and rates that really just makes insurance very, very difficult for your average employee, especially in the restaurant environment.
Yeah.
So one, I think reducing the costs of insurance is key, and increasing the access to insurance is also key. I think people still don't even know about some of the options that they have available to
Right.
themselves. And then making some of the most basic care really standard and say, we learned with COVID that you shouldn't have to wait a week for an appointment to get tested to see if you're sick or not, and then have really clear guidelines about what you can do to take care of yourself and when you're able to return to work without getting others sick.
Absolutely.
And there still seems to be a lot of work that can be done to make access more equitable and accessible to people.
Lots of important topics on the table when it comes to helping small businesses thrive. Lots of important work also happening, Moss, through yourself, through the work of the Small Business for America's Future. What would you say to any business owner, any small business here in our community that maybe is struggling with some of the things we talked today, or who maybe just feels like their voice isn't being heard, or who maybe just needs some encouraging words from someone who knows firsthand some of these issues?
Sure. I think one of the hardest things to get out of the mindset of a business owner is that you see everyone and everything as competition.
Yeah.
As a restaurant, you see the restaurant next to you and you say, I can't talk to them about our similar issues because, I can't let them know about what we're doing or vice versa. Instead, we have to realize that this is these are a number of issues that, when addressed properly, raise all boats.
Yeah.
And we all succeed when we start realizing the resources and the opportunities to grow that are out there. So getting to know your resources, and particularly your chambers,
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce that are around you, getting to know your legislators, especially when you're a small business owner. Your legislators and your government representatives will want to get to know you. Of course, the instinct is to tell them all the problems you have, but maybe sometimes it's just, hey, come into my business and let's have a cup of coffee and talk about the things that you're offering, and let you hear the problems that we're having as operators. And you'd be amazed at the things that you can do when you just talk to one another.
Absolutely. Keeping that open mind to talk, to learn, to connect. And I think, that does open a lot of new doors for opportunity, for connection, and to help each other out. So if anybody is interested in learning more, you can always visit smallbusinessforamericasfuture.org. And Moss, thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk about some of these important issues.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of the show right after this. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. They're NFL insider. One of them is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page. From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
For the latest and greatest trends in pop entertainment, Popstar Today brings you compelling celebrity lifestyle stories that matter most to you. From movies, music, TV, and streaming shows, to fashion, social media influencers, and the latest on who is seeing who. Join host Elizabeth Stanton as she digs deep and dives in. This is Popstar Today.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Let's take a look outside at that local weather. Getting up today at 8 a.m., 57 degrees, a high today of 67. Beautiful temperatures out there, but we've got some afternoon thunderstorms coming in, 70% chance of precipitation, light winds 5 to 10 miles out of the southwest as we look at Vail by the hour. You know, we're going to see that sun stay out until about that noon hour, then the clouds will roll in. We'll see those afternoon thunderstorms, which we've become somewhat accustomed to, roll through the valley and green things up just a little bit as it drops a little precipitation on the mountains. Look in the I-70 corridor, 83 degrees in Denver, 67 in Vail, 68 in Avon, and then 72 over in Eagle, all with those afternoon thunderstorms kind of rolling in. So if you're on that I-70 corridor, just be careful if it starts to rain a little bit. Those roads tend to get slick, and as the rain cascades down, the water cascades down, it could cause your car to hydroplane if you're not paying attention to that speed limit. Tonight, 53 degrees is going to be the low, 40% chance of rain. Again, that sun setting at 7:53 p.m. So days are starting to get just a little bit shorter, but a lot of daylight out there to have some fun. Light winds southeast, south-southeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's a story too. The next 5 days, we've got a lot of precipitation moving in. Saturday, 50% chance of precipitation, afternoon thunderstorms, 71 degrees. So we've got those mild temperatures throughout the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with some of that afternoon thunderstorm action coming in. Monday, 68 degrees and some more thunderstorms. It's going to clear up a little bit on Tuesday. We're going to see a little bit more sunshine coming out there, 71 degrees. And again, cloudy on Wednesday. So some great temperatures out there, and those afternoon thunderstorms, it's not going to spoil the day. It's just going to make things a lot nicer and greener up on the mountain. And those lows, again, providing some very good sleeping weather throughout the evenings in that mid-50 range. Now, every now and then we get in the kitchen and have some fun. This segment is Kim and I in the kitchen making a wonderful tzatziki dip. Let's take a look.
Welcome back. Now, we are in the kitchen, and I love being in the kitchen with Kevin. We always have so much fun.
It is so much fun.
On and off camera.
Yeah.
Well, we're making today tzatziki dip, which is quite delicious. It's a staple in my fridge.
Yeah.
And I love putting it like as a dip with vegetables or pita or any sort of meat. Is
It's
always
very
delicious.
healthy too.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. You know, it's a great condiment to have on hand. So very easy recipe to make. Have you ever made it before?
I've never made it. This is the first time.
Okay, so
I'm excited.
The trick is there is a little bit of a trickiness with the cucumber. So the base is a Greek yogurt, cucumber, lemon juice, olive oil, and garlic, and a little bit of dill. And
I love all those.
All of those things,
Yeah.
right? Who doesn't
It's my
like
favorite.
a flavor like that? So we're going to go ahead and get started. So Kevin, I'm going to put you on cucumber duty.
Okay.
What we're basically going to do is we're going to either dice it or grate it. It's up to you, however you want to do it.
Gotcha.
I would recommend taking some of the skin off of the cucumber.
I'll do that.
So you can do about a half or 3/4 of a cucumber if you'd like. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Greek yogurt. So we've got about, you want to do about a cup of Greek yogurt, but really it's to taste. You know, the beauty of making a sauce is just being able to taste it as you like, as your flavors are, you know, kind of melding together.
Right.
So, are you a big fan of Mediterranean food?
It's my favorite. Actually, my favorite food is Mediterranean food. I love the healthiness. I love all the, like the herbs, and it's just an explosion of flavor.
It really is, and you know the best part about this dip is that it's so versatile. You can use it for anything. So I know a lot of people, you often order it, and you want about a cup here. So it doesn't really matter how much of a cup you're doing. We'll just taste it as we see fit. But yeah, so Kevin, what you're doing now is the cucumber. What is really interesting about a cucumber is that it actually holds a lot of water and moisture. So you're de-seeding it and taking out some of that moisture because we're going to be cutting it up and dicing it into our Greek yogurt base. You really
So what would you prefer, the dicing or grating?
I do it both ways. I dice it because I like to have a little bit of chunk in my sauce, but if you wanted it to be a little bit more of a finely melded together sauce, I would suggest taking just your normal cheese grater and you can just, you know, grate it all up just like you usually do.
Maybe you do a combination.
You could do a combination.
Little chunk,
if you
little
want to.
grate.
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
You know, texture is always good in all different ways. So we've got about a cup of Greek yogurt here. You know, you can do any sort of Greek yogurt that you want. You know, whole milk Greek yogurt is usually best, but it really doesn't matter. And
are you a yogurt expert?
Depends on the day. I think today maybe I am. But then we're going to go ahead and actually add some lemon juice to it. Now you can do about a tablespoon, and we're going to. I love to use this fancy juicer. Do you have one?
That is, I do.
It is
I do
the
have
best. Game changer. I'll
See,
tell you what.
you've got the green. And then you've got the yellow there, so you can do lemons or limes.
Lemons or limes.
Very
but
versatile
nothing
piece
else.
of
We
equipment.
cannot do any other type of fruit. But we're going to go ahead and squeeze this lemon juice into a bowl. You know, you can squeeze it directly into the Greek yogurt base if you want to, but we need about a tablespoon. So I like to squeeze it in here just to kind of eye it a little bit.
Nice job.
better.
Good squeezing.
Right? Great squeezing. You know, it took me a long time to figure out how to use this.
It's an art.
I used to do it backwards, but now I put it, you know, the inside part down.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to go.
Well, I used to do it the other way.
Oh.
It took me a long time to learn that.
You're a trendsetter. Nobody
trendsetter.
followed that one, though. Just you.
It's okay.
We've got many Kimisms happening today.
You know, when Kevin and I are in the kitchen together,
Yeah.
it just brings that side out of me. But I love what you're doing here. So you did a little bit of dicing.
Little dice.
And now you're doing a little bit
grate.
of shredding. Yep.
Yeah.
It's great. So we're going to take our measurement. You need about a tablespoon of lemon juice into this. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in here. And you know, we're leaking a little bit. So it doesn't really matter there. So we've got about a tablespoon there. And then here's the trick. Most people don't realize this, but you put a little bit of olive oil in it too. It just kind of helps smooth it all out.
Yeah.
So we're going to open our olive oil.
In Mediterranean cooking, olive oil is one of the things you've got to put in.
You have to.
It just makes the flavors spread,
It
especially
really
if you've got
does.
an herb such as dill.
Right. So we've done a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice.
Okay.
Cucumber's looking great.
Is it ready to go? Can
You
I
know,
put the cucumber in?
I mean, you can throw it in. Go right ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then you got that in there. Awesome. Now the next piece, and this is another fun trick, and I'm going to let you handle this one.
Great.
We've got a garlic press here. So
Okay.
you want to take about a clove of garlic. I brought 2 just in case we want to do a little bit extra.
Okay.
But we'll do about a clove of garlic, and you can just stick it in here and press it through. It's quite delicious. And then, this is fun, you can do an optional mint. I like to wait and see how it tastes before I throw the mint in
Yeah,
there.
I'm with you on the mint. Yeah.
You know, it depends. Like sometimes mint is really good, especially if you were making this dip to go with like a lamb dish, then I think the mint would be really delicious.
Right.
But you know, if you just want it as a dip, we love to kind of keep that out. So it's really optional depending on what you feel like. So I'm going to go ahead and add some dill, and dill is key to this dish. You can make it without the dill, but it's really not going to be the same. So I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of dill. And we're just going to sprinkle that in here. And we're just sprinkling it in.
Yeah, be careful. It's coming out fast.
You know what? We're just going to forget the spoon. I'm dumping it in.
Yeah, just give it a shake.
Just giving it a
Because we
little.
love dill.
We love the dill. And these are just classic staple Mediterranean flavors right here.
That looks good.
It looks great, right?
Right, you want me to just squeeze the garlic in
So
there?
you can just squeeze it in there. You know, I love a garlic press, and I always add extra garlic powder to it, even if it calls for fresh garlic. And we're doing great work over here. So we're just gonna go ahead and stir that up. And as you can see, it looks great. It smells great.
It does smell good.
I think we are taking a trip to the Mediterranean right
we
now.
are. We're on a little journey right now.
We're on a journey.
Before the snow comes down again.
Before the snow comes down. And you know what's great? This dip is so easy to make, and your guests will be so impressed. If you're hosting, like, you know, you probably have a lot of people coming in, especially for us here. We love visitors because of the snow and all the fun things that are happening. But also for, you know, if you're entertaining for a football game or just really anything, this is a great and easy dip to throw together. So the smells good. Oh, the smell of fresh garlic every day.
We're gonna do more.
We're just gonna do a little bit more. Now this guy is a little bit tricky. It gives you like the whole garlic, but not quite. But I love it because it kind of releases the juices and the aroma. Yeah. So this is it. I think you can see the consistency because of the olive oil and the lemon juice. It makes it a little bit less thick of a normal yogurt consistency.
Yeah, I like the consistency of it. It's perfect. It's got, you know, it's going to stick if you're dipping a chip. If you're putting it on something else, it's going to be perfect.
It really is. And you can add, if you wanted to, like, make it a little bit more, I guess you could say liquid. You can throw a couple of tablespoons of milk in here. But I
don't do that.
I typically don't.
Do that.
You can, but if you need to stretch it, it's a way to do it. But yeah, I think this is it. We're done.
Okay, go ahead.
Easy.
You try first.
I'm going to take a chip and try it. But the best part is veggies. You can serve it with pita chips, any sort of chip. You can put it on meat. It's delicious. So here we go. I'd throw a little bit of salt in now.
A little more salt? Okay.
And maybe a little bit more lemon juice.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of always to taste.
We can do that.
So, Kevin, I'm going to give it to you, and you decide how much you want. Looks good to me. We're just going to sprinkle that salt in there, and then just stir it on up.
Stirring.
And that is it. It is the simplest, easiest thing to make. So you need a base of cucumber, Greek yogurt, olive oil, lemon juice, dill, and then optional mint if you really want to get fancy. But
getting fancy with the mint. Let's see. Let's see if we want to do any mint.
What do you think?
That's really good.
That's great, right? Very easy recipe to make, and it will for sure wow your guests at home. So.
And I love the health factor of it.
It is. You know, there is really nothing bad in this.
No.
You've got some protein, you've got some fresh herbs and veggies, and it's just quite delicious.
Perfect. Good job, Kim.
Well, we're excited. This is going to be a great thing to make if you're hosting for the upcoming game that's happening.
Big game.
Or any games that are coming up.
It's a lot of big games.
You just want to host and be fancy. I think it's a year-round recipe. So let us know if you want it, and we'll share it with you. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi, I'm Ben Belgrad, and I'm the owner of Drinking Vessels here at Bat Country Studios in Minturn. And I've been in the Valley for 7 years. I moved to the Valley because a friend helped me to get my vision off the ground, building my glass studio here, and being so close to snowboarding. So here at the studio, we're acting as a broker for 50 to 100 artists from around the country. We also offer glassblowing classes, and we bring many artists from around the country here to be able to work and create art collaboratively and be so close to skiing and all the activities we have here in the Valley. Here at Drinking Vessels, we specialize in handmade glass drinkware from artists around the country and around the world. Some of these are produced as more of an item you could get in sets and kind of get different color options as time goes on. And some of these are completely one of a kind and really high-end art that's unlike anything people have seen before. While I'm an artist myself here at the studio, I'm representing between 50 and 100 other artists from around the country. And most of these artists are able to spend most of their time working on their art while we help handle their marketing and their sales and the distribution and representation, allowing them more time to focus on their art. That's really my privilege in running this business, is creating that support and providing that platform for this big group of artists that are part of a movement that's very important to me.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I am joined today on the couch with Julio Garcia, the host of Conexión Latina.
Good morning, Kevin.
You're celebrating 1 year.
1 year anniversary.
That's incredible.
right.
Time flies.
Time does fly. I was just speaking off camera. I remember the first time I was on GMV kind of talking about what we had planned for all of our Spanish programming, and now we are here 1 year later.
Amazing. Let's take a step back.
Yes.
How did this get started?
You know, as I mentioned, it's been a little over a year really since we first kind of started talking about Spanish programming. And I think it even goes back beyond that. You know, Danielle and Deerfield Media kind of had a vision before I even joined the team. So once I joined the team about a little over a year ago, is when we really started trying to develop the Spanish programming from scratch. I mean, really, we really built this from the ground up, not really having an idea or an expectation of what it was going to look like or how it was going to be received. But from the beginning, we really involved the community, making sure they had a voice and they had an opinion and what they wanted to see, you know, what kind of programming they wanted this to look like. And then from there, we kind of just took things, built Conexión Latina, and then and the rest is history, really. I mean, it's been a year. Just to give you a little recount, I did some math, and we've had I think 222 guests, unique guests on the show.
Wow.
145 episodes of Conexión Latina. You know, 50 something recipes and crafts. We've done it all. So very excited.
Well, with any like successful type of business, you find a need and you fill it. And that's kind of what happened. We all know the Latina demographic here in the Valley is so important to the success of the Valley, the well-being and the diversity of the Valley.
Absolutely.
So what were your biggest goals coming into this?
I mean, I think it kind of goes to that, to what you're saying, you know, really making sure that our Latino and Hispanic population felt seen, felt heard, felt represented, you know, because we are a big demographic. I think we're probably getting close to like 50% of the Eagle County demographic is Hispanic Latino. So filling that gap, filling that need, making sure people felt connected as the name, you know, points to.
Right.
Making sure people feel connected. We are, at the end of the day, we are one community, no matter where we come from or what our background is. So making sure that we all felt connected, felt informed, and just felt like we were a part of this community, of this wonderful community.
Yeah. Well, with all those goals, what do you feel, what's your biggest accomplishment you're most proud of?
There's been lots.
Yeah.
There's been lots of learning, obviously. There's been lots of growth. There's been lots of fun things, lots of fun accomplishments over the last year. I think for me personally, Kevin, it's being able to be that voice for our Latino community. You know, a lot of people always tell me, you know, thank you for elevating the voices of our Latino community. And I think for me, that's a great accomplishment. A lot of people always say, oh, you know, your show's great, or your show, they refer to it as my show, but I really say, no, it's your show. It's the community show. It's for the community. And I think that's what makes me proud, is being able to be kind of this vehicle for our Latino community. And we've always said it from the beginning, everyone is welcome. You know, we've had community members come cook recipes in the kitchen, just talk about the wonderful organizations that they're a part of. And we want this to be a space for everyone to feel welcome. I mean, we've had from little kids up to, you know, Crystal's grandma, who was our intern this summer. So we welcome everyone, and we love just having our community feel like they have a space where they can, where we can elevate their voices. I think that's what makes me most proud.
And I hate to admit it, I don't speak Spanish, but I have watched your program.
Yes.
And what's really fun when I watch your program is that excitement, that passion that you and your guests have in going through the different segments and giving that information to the community.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. And I think that that's what our culture is also about. You know, our culture is so lively, so rich. We're loud, we're crazy, we like to have fun, we like to laugh. And while, yes, we're sharing information and we're sharing resources and whatnot, I think that essence is really what it's all about. And I think you're totally right.
Yeah.
And I hope you've maybe picked up a little bit of
Spanish.
Spanish.
A little bit. That's how I'm learning.
Yes,
so
I love it.
Thank you.
Of course.
Now, what additions have you made? Other than the show, what other additions have you made to draw in the community?
Yes. So obviously our main show is Conexión Latina. That's we're on 3 days a week at the moment. 7 o'clock for 30 minutes, and then we have some repeats throughout the day. So Conexión Latina is kind of like our main guy. It's my baby, you know. But we have done some expanding, and we have added a couple other things. So this summer we started El Informe del Día, which is the daily report. Is kind of what it translates to. It's kind of our daily news / information segment. So it's kind of a little window into everything that's happening at Eagle County, whether that's events, whether that's announcements, whether it's job openings, whether that's highlighting different community members and employees, you know, a little bit of everything Eagle County.
Right.
So we do that every day.
Okay.
And so people can kind of know, okay, you know, there's this event going on tonight, and I'm going to go check it out, or I want to apply for this job. So we try to share a little bit of information. So that's El Informe del Día. We also recently started Conecta en Vivo, which is our live stream. Or as we jokingly say here in the studio, Julio TV, because we're on 24/7. So Conecta en Vivo is our 24/7 live stream, just like we have, you know, the live stream for TV8. So people can tune in anywhere, anytime of the day, and there will be Spanish programming on. So if people maybe weren't able to watch Conexión Latina, or they missed something, they can come in at any time on our website, and there will be Spanish programming for them.
Nice. And I know I've spoken with a lot of my friends at the Vail Valley Partnership. That serves as our Chamber of Commerce here in the Valley, and they're so excited about this programming because it, again, it fits that need, and it applies to a demographic that makes up a lot of our base here.
A lot of our community, you know, a lot of our workforce, a lot of our locals, people who really do live, work, and play here that didn't have something like this before. So I think it's been very well received over the last year, and we're just excited to keep it going.
Yeah. Now, where do you see it going? Where do you see it? You're looking in your crystal ball. Where do you want to take this?
Yes. I think, you know, we've hit the 1 year mark, and I think we're kind of ready to take that next step. We're kind of ready to expand. So right now we are kind of deciding, and I guess this is a great opportunity to ask for the community's feedback, whether we want to do 3 days a week like we are now, but going an hour long. So right now we're 30 minutes. Maybe we're thinking of going an hour long, 3 days a week, or 30 minutes, but do it 5 days a week.
Got it.
So, you know, we welcome community feedback. We're open to any suggestions, any feedback as to what people want to see. If they'd rather see an hour show 3 days a week, or if they want to see a 30-minute show 5 days a week, you know? So I think we are kind of looking to take that next step and grow the show. We're also looking for contributors. You know, the only way we can really grow this is having people who want to contribute and who are not afraid to be on camera, to be themselves, to maybe help edit, you know, however it is that they can and are willing to help. They obviously have to be bilingual and fluent in Spanish. But other than that, we're open and we're welcoming for anyone who wants to be a part of the show.
And what a great opportunity for local businesses to really be part of this. You talk about the contributors. Well, there's no better way to promote your business, local business, through TV8, and now Conexión Latina is a great way. So how do people take part in that if you're a local business?
Yes, I mean there's we always try to highlight community businesses, and stuff like that. But there's also always opportunity for sponsorships if that's what businesses are looking for. And I would like to take this moment to thank our sponsors, because we have great sponsors that have made this possible and that allow us to continue doing the work that we are doing. But if there's any businesses out in the community that want to showcase what they do, what they offer to the community, there's a variety of different sponsorship opportunities. People can feel free to contact me at julio@tv8vail.com, or our general manager, Danielle, who kind of knows more about packages and everything like that.
Yeah.
So they can reach her at danielle@tv8vail.com, and we'll work something out, and we'll work, to best support those businesses however they're looking to do so. So
yeah. Well, I tell you, this show has been such an enhancement to
Thank
TV8. Good Morning Vail. We love to talk about what you've got coming
Thank
up,
you.
and we'll continue to do that and support you and your endeavors. But it's been so much fun over this last year to watch Conexión Latina, the evolution, you putting all the pieces together, and how it's grown so fast, so quickly.
So fast, and I'm just grateful, thankful for how well the community has received it. I always bump into people out on the streets, and they're like, "We needed this." Like we're so thankful that we have something in Spanish that is local, is kind of by the people for the people. I grew up here. I kind of know the ins and outs of the community, so being able to showcase that makes me very excited, and it has been very fun. I think that's what I love about it.
Well, again, thank you for everything you're doing with that
course.
programming, and thank you for joining me today on the show.
Yes.
I guarantee we're going to be doing this again very soon.
I hope so.
At the next milestone you reach, which probably will happen very quickly.
I hope so. And everyone tune into Conexión Latina, 7 p.m. tonight.
Yep.
Thank
Perfect.
you, Kevin.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be back soon with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to focus on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this competition.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Join us on the famous Leadville Railroad. This historic train ride takes you on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for an afternoon of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Our scenic train rides are a perfect place to bring families closer together while immersing them in the natural beauty and rich history of this picturesque region. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Make memories that will last a lifetime. Tickets available at leadvillerailroad.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long. Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine, and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Well, the Eagle Valley Library District has a great new way to both receive and drop off the things that you sign out from the library. Tegan Davis is going to take us on a little tour here to show us the new locker program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Avon Public Library today with our friends from the Eagle Valley Library District. Tegan Davis joining us, a familiar face on the show. We all know and love Tegan and all the things happening through the Eagle Valley Library District. So much happening all the time, Tegan. Yes. Summer. So we're talking about a very exciting thing today. But first of all, how are you doing? How has your summer been?
Oh, doing great. Summer's been lovely. Getting out hiking, biking. How about yourself? Yeah.
Yes.
Where you live.
Trying to enjoy as much of the summer, soak up as much sun, because it goes by fast.
Oh my gosh, we're already almost into August. It's it's nuts.
Tegan, well, thank you so much for greeting us here at the Avon Library. We are talking about a very new innovation that you guys are implementing into the library. So let's kind of walk over, and then you'll kind of tell us what it's all about.
I'll tell you all about this new machine.
So if you guys want to follow us around this way, we have here, Tegan, some new lockers. Is that what you would call them?
Yep. So they're called lib lockers. So it's a holds locker. So if you're unable to come into the library during our business hours, so let's say you're working late or you're coming by early and you want to pick up your stuff before we're open, this is a way to do it. So we can put your stuff in a locker and then you just show up with your library card and you can take your stuff out.
I love that because we were talking a little bit off camera. A lot of people either work late, work early. They can't maybe make it within the office hours, but this will allow now library users to come in after hours and do the whole checkout procedure from here, take their book home and enjoy the reading.
Yep, enjoy the read, enjoy what you want, get your stuff. And so we're trying to make it a little bit more accessible for those who can't make our hours. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tegan, how does this work? We were talking off camera. You need to call the library first. So walk us through the steps.
Okay, so we have this little bookmark that has all, just to remind people what to do. Yes. And so what you would want to do at this point in time is to call the library and be like, hey, can I get my books put in the holds locker because I'd like to pick them up in the evening after 9. You don't have to tell us the time. Just tell us that you want to pick them up in the holds locker. And we'll go ahead and we'll set your materials in the holds locker. And so then you would come in with your library card and you would come over here and you would scan your library card, and there's actually, you gotta hit pick up items. Okay. You gotta let it know what you wanna do. And then you scan, and so those are all the items that I have ready.
And then it just magically opens.
It opens, and then now I get my stuff, and I get to go home all happy.
You pick up your stuff, then you just close.
Yep, you just close that back up. Please don't leave it open. Close back up, and then you're set to go. And they're already checked out to you on your library card. And if you want, you can look at your account. You can print a receipt so that you would know. You can get it emailed, or you can print it out, so that you know when your books are due. And it's taking us time printing it out. But yeah,
doing its thing.
That is the holds locker.
That is super simple. That took literally a few seconds.
Yep, a few seconds, just so that's, again, trying to make it available for when you can come, and then you're set to go.
And I love the receipt has on there the due date or the renewal date, so that's always a good reminder to have. I use that as a bookmark even.
I do too. I also use it as a bookmark to be like, oh, okay, I still have a few more days, or, ooh, I need to bring it back.
Exactly. Well, that was a super easy process. Tegan, I see on here there's an English and a Spanish version as well for all the Spanish speakers in town.
Exactly. So multilingual so that anyone can come in and follow the quick, easy steps to get your stuff.
Awesome. Now, Tegan, you said obviously we have to call the library at the moment to be able to use this. Yeah. are we going to get notified? Obviously, we have the receipt here, but what other ways will we be getting notified when we need to return our books?
Oh, so we do. You can sign up for text messages, or we also do a courtesy email. So we'll give you a courtesy email saying like, "Hey, your books are due in a couple of days." We do automatic renewals, so long as no one's waiting for your materials, it will renew for another 3 weeks. If someone is waiting, though, you do have to bring it back in so we can all share. So those are just all the different ways, and then you can also call us and be like, "Hey, can you check my account?" Or I don't have access to my accounts, or I'm in another country and I have a book and I'm a little nervous. And you can always call us and we'll let you know.
You know, I'm a library user myself. I come here and check out books. I was talking off camera. My goal is to read 12 books a year, which may not be a lot, but it's like 1 book a month.
Exactly.
So I always appreciate that that notice in my email saying, "Hey, your book is up," or "Your book was renewed," and I'm like, "Okay, good. I have a few more weeks."
Yep, I can keep reading. That's great. Yeah, I do ebooks, so I totally understand. Because sometimes I'll select an ebook that is 700 pages, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, it's going to take me a bit to get through it." So I think 12 is a great goal over the year. So yeah.
And having that notice either through the receipt or through the email or text is also kind of a good way to pace yourself, because you're like, okay, maybe I need to, step up my reading, read a couple more pages per night. So definitely a really good reminder to have.
Or if you like me and I check out multiple books, and sometimes it's like, oh, I'm not going to get to that one. I need to turn it in. Someone else needs a turn because I checked out 5. So again, it's a great reminder. But if you holler, give us a call, and we're happy to let you know when things are up or in, or if you would like to put your items in the holds locker to pick them up.
Tegan, is the Holtz Locker only available at the Avon Library at the moment?
Only at the Avon Library, and we're going to be putting one in at the Gypsum Library in the fall.
So we will stay tuned for that, but definitely a very nice addition, as Tegan said, to make picking up your books way more accessible. If you can't come in during business hours, all you got to do, as you saw, was click the little cart on the screen, scan your library card. I think it'll probably scan your face or something as well. There's the camera there, and then you will. It'll just kind of magically open.
Yep, it'll open, and then you choose if you want a receipt or not, and it's already checked out to your account, so you don't have to do anything else. Close the box, go home and enjoy.
Cool. Tegan, I know you wanted to show us kind of a little magic trick where all the doors are going to open. So if you want to do that, I'll kind of come over here. I'll let you enter the magic password. So while Tegan does that, I do want to remind everyone that you can visit the Eagle Valley Library District website at evld.org. Check out some of the books there. Check out all the events happening throughout the summer. You can place things on hold through the website and do many, many things. And Tegan is going to show us.
Here's the magic.
Okay. Let's see.
We have our holds lockers right here, and so it's just kind of fun to see it all in action.
There it goes. Whoa. Very cool.
I know, it's the little things, right? It's very much the little things.
Yeah, there's
8 lockers, so there's
8 lockers.
Enough, hopefully for everyone to come in and get their holds.
There you have it. Come check out the new hold locker here at the Avon Library. If you can't make it during office hours, you can get all your stuff and take it home and enjoy all the books, DVDs, magazines.
Yeah, we can put anything in here except for library things. Other than that, it can hold up to 6 items. So, yeah.
Tegan, and to wrap up, I do want to remind everyone at home about the survey that you guys are currently doing. How can people participate, and what's it all about?
It's a survey just telling us what you think of us and how we're doing. So you can access it online, evld.org, or at our branches we have printed out copies. So please tell us what you think. Please let us know what you think.
Yes. Always nice to hear back from the community and receive that feedback. So go on the website and participate on the survey, or come on here and check out the new hold lockers. Tegan, thank you so much for having us here today. I'm excited to try this myself.
Oh, good. I'm excited. So just call us, and we'll get your stuff in there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of the show. We're going to keep enjoying the hold locker here at the Avon Library, and we'll be right back.
Thank you so much for joining us today as we close out the week. A lot of things going on. We got to see that locker tour by Tegan Davis there at the Eagle Valley Library District, the ins and the outs of the library, the beautiful weather, and Conexion.
See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. You're home in the rock.